solution is to turn the situation on its head. You want to make avoidance visible, open a saving account, and label it for something you want. Maybe leather jacket whenever you pass on a purchase. Put the same amount of money in the account. Skip your morning late transfer $5, pass on another month of Netflix, move to $10 over. It's like creating a loyalty program for yourself. The immediate reward of seeing yourself save money towards the leather jacket feels a lot better than being deprived. You are making it satisfying to do nothing. One of my readers and his wife use a similar step. They wanted to stop eating out so much and start cooking together more. They label their saving account trip to Europe. Whenever they skip going out to eat, they transfer $50 into the account. At the end of the year, they put the money towards the vacation. It's not nothing that it is important to select short-term reward that reinforce your identity rather than one that conflict with it. Buying a new jacket is fine if you are trying to lose weight or read more book, but it doesn't work if you are trying to budget and save money. Instead, taking a bubble bath or going on a leisurely walk are good example of rewarding yourself with free time, which align with your ultimate goals of my freedom and financial independence. Similarly, if your reward for exercising is eating a bowl of ice cream, then you are casting votes for conflicting identities and it's end up being a wash. Instead, maybe your reward is a massage, which is both a luxury and a vote towards taking care of your body. Now, the short term reward is aligned with your long term vision of being a healthy person. Eventually, as intrinsic reward like a better mood, more energy, and reduced stress kick in, you will become less concerned with chasing the secondary reward. You will become less concerned with chasing the secondary reward. The identity itself becomes the reinforce. You do it because it's who you are and it feels good to be you. The more a habit becomes part of your life, the less you need outside encouragement to follow through. Incentives can start a habit, identity sustain a habit. That said, it takes time for the evidence to accumulate, a new identity to emerge. Immediate reinforcement helps maintain motivation in the short term while you are waiting for the long term reward to arrive. In summary, a habit needs to be enjoyable for it to last. Simple bits of reinforcement like soap that smells great or toothpaste that has a refreshing mint flavors or seeing $50 hit your saving account can offer the immediate pleasure you need to enjoy a habit, and change is easy when it is enjoyable. Chapter summary. The fourth law of behavior change is make it satisfying. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. The human brain evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed reward. The cardinal rule of behavior change: what is immediately rewarded is repeated, what is immediately pushed is avoided. To get a habit to stick, you need to feel immediate successful, even if it is in a small way. The first three laws of behavior change: make it obvious, make it attractive, and make it easy increase the odds that a behavior will be performed this time. The fourth law of behavior change: make it satisfying, increase the odds that a behavior will be repeated next time. How to stick with good habits every day. In 1993, a bank in Abbotsford, Canada hired a 23 years old stockholder named Trent Smith. Abbotsford was a relatively small suburb tucked away in the shadow of nearby Vancouver, where most of the big business deals were being made. Given the location and the fact that Jim Smith was a rookie. Nobody expected too much of him, but he made brisk progress thanks to a simple daily habit. Jim Smith begins each morning with two jars on his desk. One was filled with 120 papers clip, the other was empty. As soon as he settled in each day, he would make a sales call. Immediately after, he would move one paper clip from the full jar to the empty jar. The process would begin again. Every morning, I would start with 120 paper clip in one jar, and I would keep dealing the phone until I had moved them all to the second jar, he told me. Within 18 months, Jim Smith was bringing in $5 million to the firm. By age 24, he was making $75,000 per year, the equivalent of $125,000 today. Not long after, he landed a six-figure job with another company. I like to refer to this technique as the paperclip strategy, and over the year, I have learned from readers who have employed it in a variety of ways. One woman shifted one woman shifted a hairpin from one container to another whenever she wrote a page of her book. Another man moved a marble from one bin to the next after each set of push ups. Making progress is satisfying, and visual measures like moving paper clips or hairpins or marbles provide, provide clear evidence of your progress. As a result, they reinforce your behavior and adds a little bit of immediate satisfaction to any activity. Visual measurement comes in many forms: food journals, workout logs, loyalty punch cards, the progress bar on a software download, even the page number in a book. But perhaps the best way to measure your progress is with a habit tracker. How to keep your habit on the track. A habit tracker is a simple way to measure whether you did a habit. The most basic format is to get a calendar and cross off each day you stick with your routine. For example, if you meditate on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, each of these dates gets an X. uh, as time as time rolls by, the calendar becomes a record of your habit streak. Countless people have tracked their habits, but perhaps the most famous was Benjamin Franklin. Beginning at age 20, Franklin carried a small booklet everywhere he went and used it to track 13 principles virtues. This list included goals like lose no time, be always employed in something useful, and avoid trifling conversation. At the end of each day, Franklin would open his booklet and record his progress. Jerry Seinfeld reportedly uses a habit tracker to stick with his streak of writing jokes. In the documentary Comedian, he explained that his goal is simply to never break the chain of writing jokes every day. In other words, he is not focused on how good or bad a particular joke is or how inspired he feels. He is simply focused on showing up and adding on his streak. Don't break the change is a powerful mantra. Don't break the change of sales calls and you will build a successful book of business. Don't break the change of workout and you will get fit faster than you will expected. Don't break the change of creating every day and you will end up with an impressive portfolio. Habit tracking is powerful because it leverages multiple laws of behavior change. It simultaneously makes the behavior obvious, attractive, and satisfying. Let's break down each one. Benefits number one. Habit tracking is obvious. Recording your last action creates a trigger that can initiate your next one. Habit tracking naturally builds a series of visual cues like the streak of X on your calendar or the list of meals in your food log. When you look at the calendar and see your streak, you will be reminded to act again. Research has shown that people who track their progress on goals like losing weight, quitting smoking, and lowering blood pressure are all more likely to improve than those who don't. One study of more than 1,600 people found that those who kept a daily food log lost twice as much as weight as those who did not. The mere act of tracking a behavior can spark the urge to change it. Habit tracking also keeps you honest. Most of us have a distorted view of your own behavior. We think we act better than we do. Measurement offers one way to overcome our blindness to our own behavior and notice what really going on each day. One glance at the paper clip in the container and you immediately know how much work you have or haven't been putting in. When the evidence is right in front of you, you are less likely to lie to yourself. Benefit number two, habit tracking is attractive, the most effective form of motivation in this progress. When we get a signal that we are moving forward, we become more motivated to continue down that path. In this way, habit tracking can have an addictive effect on motivation. Each small win feeds your desire. This can be particularly powerful on a bad day. When you are feeling down, it's easy to forget about all the progress you have already made. Habit tracking provides visual proof of your hard work, a subtle reminder of how far you have come. Plus, the empty score you see each morning can motivate you to get started because you don't want to lose your progress by breaking the streak. Habit 3. Habit tracking is satisfying. This is the most crucial benefit of all. Tracking can become its own form of reward. It is satisfying to cross an item of your to-do list, to complete an entry in your workout log, or to mark an X on the calendar. It feels good to watch your result grow, the size of your investment portfolio, the length of your book manuscript, and if it feels good, then you are more likely to endure. Habit tracking also help keep your eye on the ball. You are focused on the process rather than the result. You are not fixated on getting six packs abs. You are just trying to keep the streak alive. Become the type of a person who doesn't miss workout. In summary, habit tracking, number one, creates a visual cue that can remind you to act. Number two, is inherently motivating because you see the progress you are making and don't want to lose it. Number three, feels satisfying whenever you recall another successful instance of your habit. Furthermore, habit tracking provides visual proof that you are casting vote for the type of person you wish to become, which is a delightful form of immediate and intrinsic gratification. You may be wondering, if habit tracking is so useful, why have I waited so long to talk about it? Despite all the benefit, I've left this discussion until now for a simple reason. Many people resist the idea of tracking and measuring. It can feel like a burden because it forces you into two habits: the habit you are trying to build and the habit of tracking it. Counting calories sounds like a hassle when you are already struggling to follow a diet. Writing down every sales call seems tedious when you got work to do. It feels easier to say, I'll just eat less, or I'll try harder, or I'll remember to do it. People inevitably tell me things like, I have a decision journal, but I wish I use it more, or I recorded my workout for a week. But then quite, I've been there myself. I once made a food log to track my calories. I managed to do it for one meal and then gave up. gave up. Tracking isn't for everyone, and there is no need to measure your entire life, but nearly anyone can benefit from it in some form, even if it's only temporary. What can we do to make tracking easier? First, whenever possible, measurement should be automated. You will probably be surprised by how much you are already tracking without knowing it. Your credit card statement tracks how often you go out to eat. Your Fitbit registers how many steps you take and how long you sleep. Your calendar records how many new places you travel to each year. Once you know where to get the data, add a note on your calendar to review it each week of your month, which is more practical than tracking it every day. Second, manual tracking should be limited to your most important habits. It's better to consistently track one habit than to is- sporadically track 10. Finally, record each measurement immediately after the habit occurs. The completion of the behavior is the cue to write it down. This approach allows you to combine the habit stacking method mentioned in Chapter 5 with habit tracking. The habit stacking plus habit tracking formula is: after current habit, I will track my habit. After I hang up the phone from a sales call, I will move one paper clip over. After I finish each set at the gym, I will record it in my workout journal. After I put my plate in the dishwasher, I will write down what I ate. These tactics can make tracking your habit easier even if you aren't the type of person who enjoy recording your behavior. I think you will find a few weeks of measurement to be insightful. It's always interesting to see how you are actually being spending your time. That sounds every habit streak ends at some point, and more important than any single measurement is having a good plan for when your habit slide off track.